All right. Let's see what's up. I guess we on. Hey, what's going on, party people? Now, if this is your first time here, welcome. I go by the name of Leslie. It's definitely a pleasure having you here. I am a spiritual healer, and technically, as a spiritual healer, what I do. Just a second. Mm-hmm. Got to get mine real quick. So, what I do as a spiritual healer is that I help you to become in alignment with who you are. It's pretty much the same idea of mind, body, and soul. It's to help you to become in alignment with you, to become whole, to get you to your original state. And technically, as a spiritual healer, I help you, and that's what healing is pretty much all about, right? But for you to do so, it's important for you to understand your emotions, how they are being created, and understand energy and all of these things. Because ultimately, for you to be in alignment with yourself, it's self mastery. So for you to master yourself, meaning you're making yourself your, I mean, your own, because that's what, mastering anything is. You making it yours. To make yourself yours, you can't have control over yourself if you don't understand, if you don't have control over yourself, if that makes any sense. And I'm referring to multiple different aspects of yourself, such as your emotions, your intellect. Those two would have to become in alignment. But for you to do so, I help you to understand, let's just say, how your emotions are being created, for you to acknowledge that, for you to understand your emotional patterns, and then blockages too, which plays a major part in, self healing. But most importantly, in addition to that, I shouldn't say most importantly, in addition to you being aware of your emotions and mastering your emotions, but for you to also master your intellect, because now we're talking about your psychology, we're talking about you being in control of your own mind. Hold up, hold up. I've been talking too much. Slow down, player. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Hmm. I got you. So now, hold up, hold up. Mm. Again, the whole idea of you being healed, or you being, at your best, being in alignment with you, is self mastery. So therefore, you have to align those different multiple aspects of yourself. They have to become one. They have to become in harmony, pretty much. And just like I was saying earlier, that's the whole idea of mind, body, and soul. Now, I was talking a little bit about your intellect, how you can't have self mastery without mastering your mind. So therefore you would need to understand, your conscious mind, subconscious mind, of course, but pretty much how your mind is being conditioned. And you're got to be the person to condition your mind the way you want it. Otherwise, you wouldn't have, you know what I'm saying? Like, somebody else can be controlling your mind and then you having self mastery. It doesn't work that way. So, but with that being said, if you're coming back, you already know, get a plate. Let's break some bread. It's always a pleasure having you in. Um, this is always a holy communion. Let's break some bread. You know what I'm saying? Let's have our supper. It's that time of the week. You know what I'm saying? So, um, the past couple of days, I pretty much been talking about the three Great Plains, and somehow, as I was talking about in the part two, I was actually inspired. Ooh, I'm getting way ahead of myself here. Now, if you're coming back, or if this is your first time, as a spiritual healer, I use spirituality as a tool, to help you to pretty much accomplish those goals, for you to understand the different aspect of yourself. And it's only right, since spirituality is a tool that I use, for me to give you a little bit of rundown or explanation about what spirituality, or at least to me, what the fuck that shit is. Do you see what I'm saying? Um, because generally speaking, when we talk about spirituality, people always think it's something that's out. You know what I'm saying? It's not. part of this life. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's over there. It's not over here. It's almost like, it's like, oh my God, like if someone were to be part of fucking, okay, now you would probably say it's when somebody is now being part of it's being religious, because you couldn't picture it as part of your life. That's why, it's something that's out of this life. You may look at it as religion, or you can even look at it as some sort of belief system, and that's not the case at all. Because, and even if that is the case, I mean, all of these things derive from us. You see what I'm saying? It is us who created religion. You know what I'm saying? It is definitely us. If I, you know what I'm saying, you don't believe in somebody else's belief, right? You have your own. Like the East has a certain way that they see things. So's the West. And their spirituality is different. So again, when we're talking about spirituality, we're talking truly about your life. But if you want to take it a step further, it can also be your perspective too. But anyway, for the sake of what I'm talking about here, spirituality is simply talking about you. Now, if you're learning about the occult, any type of, let's just say, discipline, or let's just say, or different sort of sacred teachings that you could be learning from, they all do the same thing. They could go under what is called the occult. And when we're talking about the occult, the knowledge that's being feeding to you is just the type of knowledge to help you to be aware of who you are, or it's giving you a better understanding of who you are. That's why you will see in most of the books, they'll tell you you have a conscious mind, you have a subconscious mind, you have your shadow self, you have this, you have that. So, in so many words, when we're truly talking about the occult spirituality and all of that, it's just talking about your regular life. It's your day to day life. Now, they're helping you to be conscious or to look at it in a whole different perspective. In fact, this is what we're going to be doing tonight. So tonight, I just wanted to take a closer look at what the Indian called Maya. Now that you already know what spirituality is, and I just gave you a little bit of background, I mean, I pretty much tell you what spirituality is. So now we're going to use that to delve a little bit deeper into what this world is. You see what I'm saying? So the Indian calls it Maya. Maya, which means illusion. So hold up, player. I'm getting way ahead of myself here. Shit, I'm definitely on it tonight. I mean, shit, I came out swinging. I'm swinging. Slow down, player. Slow down. Shit. Mm-mm. Hold up. Now that I got your attention, slow down, motherfucker. Shit. Mm, mm, no. Mm. I like my shit to be all even and shit. I ain't playing with you. Mm. My people. Now, so now, what we're gonna be doing tonight, we're gonna take a deeper, closer look at Maya, right? And when we're talking about Maya, we're talking about this world, Earth, I mean, well, not for lack of a better term, but that's what it is. But now they call Earth, the Indian call Earth Maya. Now, Maya in Indian means illusion. So when we're talking about illusion, I'll tell you what it's not, and I'll tell you what it is. A lot of times, people think an illusion is something that is fake. That is not the point. That is not the case at all. When we're talking about an illusion, when you see a magician performing an act in front of you, you see it, but it's not what it seems. It's not what it looks like. Now, you may call it a trick, however you choose to call it. The bottom line is this: it simply is what you're looking at is not what it seems. That's why if you see the movie Now That You Can See or Now That You See Me, they have a quote that I really like. And the closer you look, the more you will not see. So essentially, what they truly telling you, it's not what you're looking at, but it's how you're looking at it. But anyway, that is a whole different ball game. But to get back to what I was talking about, mhm, to this world being an illusion, it simply means it's not what it seems like. For instance, the Kabbalion talks about material science, which is the science that we all know, you know, the European science, and now there's a branch of that science that is called quantum physics. Now they came out, they tell you, yo, matter is nothing but condensed energy. So right then and there, they tell you what the illusion is. So in other words, what you're looking at, let's just say a car, whatever the fuck you think it's matter, it's not truly what it looks like. And that's why I tell people that alone should fucking freak you out. That should change your whole fucking reality. It should. Because now you should be, you know what I'm saying? And once you're able to understand that, that's how you're able to see beyond the veil. Because the illusion is the veil. And in life, things are not what they look like. And that's what we have to learn. The wise man or someone who's learning about life is someone who's very insightful. You have that inner vision. You understand what I'm saying? You have that inner vision. It's totally different. Hold up, man. I'm on my smoky shit tonight. You know, man. You know, people, you know what I'm saying? You know, my niggas be coming through. My superheroes. Mm. So again, it simply means it's not what it seems. Now, here's the part that I wanted to talk about. So, generally speaking, when people hear that type of definition about Earth, for most, I would say European occultist, or for religion for that matter, they tend to look at this life since it is a fucking illusion. They tend to look at it in a negative way. You understand what I'm saying? Like you'll hear some occultists will let you know, like, Earth, it's not good, it's hell, or even religion will let you know. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing that they're talking about, but it just varies in degrees, because they don't look at, they don't see energy in matter. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that's what the Kabbalion tells you too. Everything vibrates. So if everything vibrates, there's energy in everything. For anything to vibrate, there has to be some energy in it. And energy is all around us. That's why niggas, you know what I'm saying, we're using electricity. You can't see it, but it's all around you. And that's what makes this world, it's not as it looks. It's not as physical as one may think. And that's what, the illusion is all about. So now, when you come in at this point, you are separating or you taking the energy out of matter. You meaning you just looking at matter just as matter. That's what the illusion is, because nothing is just matter. Like I was watching for the very first time the entire movie Seven, right? And then that's when I'm like, God damn. To look at it just a whole Gnostic perspective. And what the Gnostic does, they suck the energy out of Earth. So their interpretation of what Earth is just like Earth is hell. Do you see what I'm saying? So in that movie, they were talking about. I'll use a fucking stupid example. They were actually talking about gluttony, which is obesity. You know, one of the seven. I mean, you probably have to see it for yourself, or you probably already see it. But I'm just gonna make it short, right? Something as small as obesity. It's not just people eating a lot, man. It's a lot more complex than that. You have people that binge eat, right? You know what I'm saying? That shit should tell you alone. It's not just the act of just motherfuckers just eating. You know what I'm saying? That's why you would tell people you got to deal with your emotions. So, with that being said, I'm just showing you, there's energy in it. I mean, something as simple as that, it's not as simple as it looks because you have fat people that are fat for many different reasons. Do you see what I'm saying? And sometimes a lot of people who are fat too, they have a low self esteem or because of fear, they like to hold on to shit. So when they eat their food, they hold on to their fat. So I'm just showing you something as simple as being fat. It's not as physical as you think it is. That's why you'll see people would tell you, you know what, I have to overcome certain things. I had to change my mentality. I had to change I had to start paying more attention to myself, value myself more. So what does that tell you? So that tells you again, it's not just the physical shit that is doing it. It's not just the food. It's more than that. And that little more, that's when your values come in. So now, if we're gonna tie this up to, let's just say we're calling this realm a fucking illusion. So the illusion is not. It's not a problem because if you really think about it, in this life, you have all kinds of motherfuckers. You have good motherfuckers. You have your saints. You have your criminals. You have all kind of people. Yo, Maya does not discriminate, nigga. I'm saying you'll find all type of niggas right down here, bro. Like they tell you, life is what you make it. Well, the same thing applies to how you're looking at things. The Kabbalion says it best. They say, to the pure, all is pure. So a lot of these European um occultists, they tend to look at Maya as something that is lesser than spirit. You understand what I'm saying? They would look at it because they suck the life out of it. They're looking at it from there's a separation. That's what the duality is. That's a duality perspective. They don't look at it from a polarity. Polarity doesn't mean okay. Polarity means two. I mean two sides of the same coin. They understand the differences, just like the Kabbalion says it best too. They talk about hot and cold. Do you see what I'm saying? They talk about your temperature, in fact. You know what I'm saying? But the only difference is they vary in fucking degrees. But in duality, what they do in duality, they separate hot from cold. They tell you those are two different things. But the Kabbalion takes the hot and the cold and put it together and tells you what? It's the same thing, they just vary in degrees. That's a holistic perspective. It's not denying, I mean, it doesn't separate it, but it doesn't deny or refute, the cold nor the hot side of it. But they understand it's just the same thing, but in different degrees. So when quantum physics now is telling you, that's what I'm saying. If you truly understand this, that alone should fuck your mind up. That's why to in African spirituality, we celebrate when a kid is being born. What does that mean to us? A lot, because a man's life. You are the son and the father. We are all like Hercules, meaning we have both sides of us. We have a human side and let's just say a spiritual side. This is where they come together. That's why we are in so many words like the light of the world, but not just the light of the world, but the best. We embrace best of both worlds. That's what harmony is. That's what Ma'at is. So again, we're taking a closer look at Maya. Do you see what I'm saying? So when we celebrate a new kid that is being born, we understand this is the union of the visible and the invisible that we're looking at. So when we baptize the kid, you know what I'm saying, we are welcoming them into this life. We are embracing them into this life. And but at the same time, we're taking accountability to show them life. But anyway, I'm not trying to be too dramatic. I want some bullshit. I ain't gonna be too fucking dramatic, but you get the point. However, if you're looking at it from a Gnostic perspective, you'll say this motherfucker came here to help. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not looking at both sides of the coin. And also, shit, I guess while we at it, the whole, when we look at life as it seems like we're looking at it's suffering, it's misery, it's dark, it's gloomy the way you know, unfortunately, the way a lot of people look at the fucking illusion. But you also got to understand, just like the Kabbalion says, because when we're talking about values, values has some you got to have some sort of spiritual insight when we're talking about values. That's why the Kabbalion tells you to the pure, all is pure. And technically, that's what we do as true spiritual motherfuckers. That's how we transmute shit. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. Keep that in mind. And the Kabbalion is teaching you how to transmute shit by providing you with the seven hermetic principles, which the main idea at this point is for you to attain self mastery, or for you to master yourself, or for you to become the enlightened one, the Illuminati. That's you, the bright one. So, again, to get back to the conversation at hand, Maya, there's nothing wrong because Maya is a fucking illusion. It doesn't make it something negative just because the shit is a fucking illusion. Now, how are you looking at the fucking illusion? That's what makes a difference. How you look at it, that's what makes the whole that's what separate the fucking elders, that's what separate the little boy from the men. Your perspective. But here's the kicker. Like I was talking about before, when we talk about values or any type of, insight on anything, it requires a certain level of spirituality. That's why to the pure, all is pure. But guess what? If your ideal or your psyche is not all the way up there, well, you're gonna sound like the average. Then you're gonna be like this earth is nothing but fucking misery. People are killing each other and all that shit. But people are killing each other. That's not fucking Maya though. That's why the people are perishing due to fucking ignorance. It's ignorance that's making us the way we are. See, Maya being a fucking illusion has nothing to do. It's almost like, I mean, because you know, and that's how you know, because when you know the truth sets you free. Oh, I already know how what the fuck this guy's doing. It. Look at him. You're not impressed. You have no issue with it. People are scratching their head. You're like, hey, that shit is easy, man. I could, yeah, nigga, only if you knew. Well, that's the name of the game. That's where knowing yourself comes in. Know thyself. You know what I'm saying? But the whole process of you knowing yourself, you have to understand Maya. Then then you'll see as you becoming pure, all is pure. Damn the fucking Kabbalion. These motherfuckers. The hootie boy. Mm. So I guess you may say to yourself, just like you know, like when you see suffering in the fucking world, I mean, it's the way we condition, it's the way we're looking at one another, man. We don't fucking love one another, man. Niggas are perishing due to fucking ignorance. You don't know who you are. You lost in the illusion, but you can't blame the fucking illusion for that. It's you. You have a responsibility. And that's what our ancestors are helping us to do, to take that as a responsibility, to remember the time, know who you are, self mastery, becoming conscious, to wake up, the Christ, the Buddha, whichever term you like to use. It all comes down to the same exact, to knowing who you are. Do you see what I'm saying? And here's something else too, because I hear that all the time. Like, I mean, I guess I was talking to a friend of mine, like he was saying, like how there are so many people who are dead, but that not that many people who are conscious. I mean, yes, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he was saying it in a way like this is fucked up, right? But if you really think about it, you saying it's fucked up because you're looking at quantity instead of quality. So truly, even though he was saying this is fucked up, he was fucked up. The reason why he was fucked up was because he was still looking at this fucking illusion in terms of quantity instead of quality. So therefore, you have no value. Value, quality, quantity. There's no quality necessarily in it, and quantity never outweigh quality. Never, ever, ever. It never does. Like I always use this example. I'm a Haitian nigga. So in Haiti, I remember we had a mango tree and shit. Like you could have 20 mangoes that are not ripe, that are unripe, and then two mangoes that are ripe. The 20 mangoes means nothing because you can't do nothing with it. So in other words, I'm saying one master is worth more than a million stupid motherfuckers. Isn't it the reason why it's a minority that's ruling the world? If it was quantity, then the majority, it never works that way because you're looking at it wrong. You're looking at it wrong. And there was a brother too. I think I remember I was listening to, like, how do we let white people to rule us? You know what I'm saying? There's more of us than them because quantity doesn't matter, nigga. Never mattered. It's always been quality. You know what I'm saying? That's how people do it. And the majority is the majority. They're not the quality though. So I'm saying this to say your perspective, your value that you put on something is based on who you are. That's why, just like the Kabbalion says, and again, I'm going to say it again, to the pure, all is pure. You know what I'm saying? Like, depending on what state of mind you have. I could be going through some issues, you going through the same issues, but if we're looking at it the same, I'm looking at it as an opportunity for me to learn. That's why you can't stop me in nothing that I'm doing. That shit comes with a fucking state of mind. When I don't know who the fuck it was saying. Was it Ford, the nigga that says, try to, you know what I'm saying? He felt, nah, he said, nah, nigga, slow down, player. I did not fail. I learned different ways, and that's a higher state of consciousness. Because if you truly understand life, it's all about getting up, man. If a baby or a toddler, didn't keep getting up or didn't keep falling, he or she wouldn't be walking today. You know what I'm saying? So it's not what you see, it's not how much you see it. How are you looking at it? You know what I'm saying? The remedy of the pain is in the pain. And that's what a lot of people, but again, you have to develop that insight, that spiritual insight. You got to have that inner vision. You got to start looking at things from a whole different perspective. You see what I'm saying? It's a whole different state of mind. Again, but that would have to do with you. So again, I'm trying to show you just because Maya is an illusion, there's nothing negative about being, Earth being a fucking illusion at all, except the value you give it. And that value is going to be based on your insight. If you see the big picture, well, I mean, you're going to the pure, all is pure. But if you can only see a side of it, meaning you're looking at, that's why life, you can't just look at life from a conscious perspective alone. Because your intellect, or I meant to say your intellect, because your intellect is directive. That's why people would tell you, you may not see certain things. Your intellect is directive. You may not see certain things, but your subconscious mind sponge everything. What the fuck does that mean? That means, that's why you have to be in harmony with your subconscious and your conscious mind. But if you're not, this is also showing you in so many words, hold up, players, you can't just separate shit. The illusion is the separation of shit. Is the illusion is you saying this is matter, this is spirit. Because the Kabbalion, when we talked about the three great plane, they let you know that it's all energy, but it's different vibration. Those are ascending. As you ascending, you elevating your vibration. You see what I'm saying? Then you go from different world. But the hermetic principles applies in all of those different planes. And I was telling you guys too how that's the way our ancestors worship nature because they see God in everything. There's lesson in everything. That's why, I'm saying, someone who's wise, they learn from nature. And ironically, as you're learning from nature too, this is also showing you as it is within, so it is without. You're looking at nature for you to go in. And as you're going in too, vice versa. So all of those different principles, they shadow into one another. It's being done in different layers. That's why this is all mental. Fuck it. Gucci. Why do niggas talk about Gucci, Versace? That's what you value. You made it Gucci, motherfucker. You made it Versace. You know what I'm saying? It's you. And because you don't have it inside of you, you're gonna wear that shit. That's why they tell you people who, you know what I'm saying, like when you don't have any spiritual values, you know what I'm saying? That's what self love is. You find it inside of you. You don't look for it on the outside. That's why I always tell people, and I always stressed on that a lot, so people understand the difference between self love and selfish. When you have self love, you see the divine qualities in you, and because you see that in you, you know, then you look for it in other people. But people who doesn't see divine quality in them, they look for benefits, external benefits. That's what selfish is. Now that person is not thinking about your feelings. That's why a selfish motherfucker or a greedy motherfucker will step on you. This is business, nigga. Do or die. You know what I'm saying? Niggas will do or die. It's all about the fucking benefits. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying there's not something wrong with it. I'm just showing you the difference. And ultimately, as you're learning about yourself, you know, pretty much you are grasping those divine qualities of you. And as you are grabbing or grasping those divine qualities in you, then you are materializing it. That's how you could see beauty in another human being. You could say, damn, man, this nigga's a good ass nigga. This nigga got heart. This nigga's determined. Or this nigga got heart. However the fuck you want to put it. That is the divine that is being reflected. He had somehow materialized. Or like for me, I stand on my integrity, nigga. I don't give a fuck. Well, I give a fuck for my inner peace. Oh, there's nothing like it. You know what I'm saying? Shit, like that nigga said it in heat. Like if I spot the heat on the corner, I'm walking over 30 seconds, nigga. I'm doing it in 5 seconds. My inner peace comes first. Well, I shouldn't even say come first. Like there's nothing else. You know what I'm saying? It's either you align to that peace, or you know what I'm saying? Shit, peace. You know what I'm saying? Deuce, deuce, baby. Again, you know, Maya is not. It's not the issue. That's why a lot of spiritual masters, when we come down, we're not concerned about this shit. So when you start looking at life from a pure perspective, and you're gonna make it pure, your interpretation of it, death. Like I tell people, man, life is long for me. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I don't talk the like the and even death too. Let's talk about death too. Like once you understand that, then death has a whole different meaning for you. We see death in life so many different times. You know, because the thing that I also wanted to talk about too. So they say pretty much because it is an illusion, it's not good. But they also say because it is impermanent, it's not also good. And that's not the case at all. Meaning people are saying if this world keep changing, then it's not good because God doesn't change. Somehow there's some bullshit that is associated with changes. Why is change gotta be bad, bro? Those are just cycles. In fact, those are changes, those are permanent changes. You know, like this earth, we came down here, dog. We're gonna roll out. That shit's still gonna be here. I don't give a fuck what niggas are saying. You know what I'm saying? The last days. You know, when referring to the last days, they talking about the last era of anything. You know, it's just like Professor Small said, nigga, I'm eternal. I loved it. Peace, King. I get it. I mean, like life is short. What? That's because you don't know who you are. I went through so many different deaths in my life, in this life alone, because death is nothing but transformation. I wouldn't be able to be your spiritual healer without dying so many times. Because even when you look at nature, you know, because the same principle that applies to nature applies to us. That's why we learn from nature. If we don't see anything, we don't understand something. And that's why when the Kabbalion tells you about the law of correspondence, you know what I'm saying? It's also the idea is for you to be aware of what's taking place when you don't see it or when you're not aware of it. Then you look at the outside. If you're a nigga, you've been fucking like all your girlfriends are fucking hoes. Like look on the outside and be like, and go inside, nigga. Like, there's something going on with you, nigga. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. That's how it goes. So if you truly understand that principles, when you see niggas saying bitches ain't shit, or bitches are saying niggas ain't shit, that gives you your answer. I gave you the answer. Keep the tip. It's all good. Well, that's why I'm here, nigga. I'm here to serve you. Whoever you're criticizing yourself. Isn't that what haters do? You know what I'm saying? When haters are criticizing other people, they telling on who they are. What are we talking about? So again, once you start developing your inner sight, then you start looking at at even like just like they say to the pure, all is pure. Now what you're doing, you start looking at even with something that they call that is changeable. You start looking at it as something that is that never change, or you appreciate it for what it is. Do you see what I'm saying? Especially when we're talking about change, what are we truly talking about? I mean, it's death, man. True death. It's not death itself. It's when somebody's not trying to change. Think about it. When we die, that's when we no longer in this body. We are no longer in the body by itself. And that's why you see when somebody dies, the fucking body, what the fuck happened to it? But while the person was in it, do you see what I'm saying? Like you are the life. You keeping it like it's you. So that's why to suppress your emotions, I mean, you're suppressing yourself, a big part of yourself. That's why I mean, I'm gonna tell you right now, you don't suppress your fucking emotions or your fucking desires. Once you get rid of your desire, you're getting rid of yourself. But you learn how to discernment. Certain desires are better than another. Well, that's part of self mastery, my friend. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe you're looking at your, I know what I'm saying, at your man's girl and shit. She got a fat ass. You know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong, but just know there's different desires, man. I mean, you gonna get the piece of ass and fuck up your relationship with that nigga? I'm just saying, you gotta weigh the pros and cons. You don't get rid of your fucking desires. You acknowledge that shit. Know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta let the motherfucker know about it. Of course not, but goddamn, but that's my man's though. You know what I'm saying? Alright, I'm good. You feel me? Like you have to make decisions like that. That's why you don't suppress your desires. You embrace them and then you go for the higher desire. Then you learn too how to go, that's why sometimes they tell you you need to sacrifice a little bit to have a greater desire. That's when people are telling you learn how to be focused, man. Do the hard job, then you'll benefit later. If you're not willing to do the hard job now, guess what's going to happen? Those are laws. It is what it is. Maya is just like here, like nigga. All right. You know what I'm saying? Your choice. You know what I'm saying? It's like even a potter, the clay, right? It's the same clay. You could make a beautiful art out of that fucking clay, or you could make a fucking ugly art. Again, it's you. And our ancestors gave us the tool to make the best decisions. In other words, for you not to get lost, for you to know who you are. Self mastery. That's what the whole game is about. Becoming that living mind that you are. Because it's all mental. The mind is all. The all is mind. However the fuck they say, vice versa. You want to become the living mind, which is what spirit is, which is you. That's why spirituality is your story. Your humanity is your spirituality. Having Zeus as your father, that's the story of everybody. It's talking about you being born with a mother that is Earth. Not necessarily because I used to be. I'm saying God's fucking a whole bunch of bitches. Yo, in Haiti, these niggas, man, these Haitian niggas be wilding. These niggas be saying, yo, if you don't have a father, you don't know who your father is, your name is Jesus, nigga. Yo, these niggas be wilding. You know what I'm saying? Oh, your dad could be Zeus, nigga. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know who your father is. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what the fuck, God? You fucking like, he was a virgin out of all them bitches, man. That nigga bitch, you gonna fuck his bitch? No, man. Those are metaphysical shit. That's what mythology is all about, right? Because as far as I'm concerned, I don't know, man. You think God need pussy, man? Like, I mean, hey, to each his own. But I'm trying to give you the understanding behind it. That's why a man's life, you are ma'at. You are the representation of the balance. You are that balance. You are God and human. You are divine and human. You embrace both of the best of both worlds. And once you realize that, when you become that, guess what? You have transcended even your humanity automatically. That's what the wise one do. When you call it the illuminated one, the enlightened one, that's what they do. Now they become in this world, but not of the world. It doesn't mean they don't party, doesn't mean they don't smoke, doesn't mean none of that shit. But they're understanding now they are being free of matter. They see it truly for what it is. Now you're able to see through the veil, man. But you got to put that work in. So again, how bad is Maya really? But unfortunately, there's a lot of bad connotation that comes with Earth. It's hell. People are killing each other. There's a whole bunch of greed, which is true. But those things are happening out of fucking what? Ignorance. Come on, man. Like, hey, there's some, yeah, man. I guess at some point, some of us gonna have to take some accountability here too, man. You know what I'm saying? Nations are fighting other nations and all that shit. All that shit out of fucking ignorance, man. Niggas want to have a bigger dick. You know what I'm saying? Like niggas are cockfighting. You know what I'm saying? Fighting over territories and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not valuing. There's no. I mean, it's ignorance. Meaning you're going for the material shit instead of looking at the bigger picture. And that's what a lot of the saint been doing when we come down to earth, trying to bring people together. Then you have Jesus now talking about love. Nigga, I am him. Now that love simply means you knowing who the fuck you are. Love your fucking neighbors. Honor your motherfucking ancestors. You know what I'm saying? And you honor them not because they've been good to you, motherfucker. Because either way, and here's something else too. As you becoming pure, do you see what I'm saying? That's how you are able to heal the wounded child in you. You know, when you honor your like, I'll give you a perfect example, and I'm just gonna use myself. Like, shit, nigga, like, but those are different state of mind too. It's like I had to get away from my mom because of toxicity. But at the same, I mean, initially it's like what the fuck. But now I honor it because if not, if it wasn't for that, how would I become the man that I am? That's why again, when I talk about optimistic too, like I talk about positivity. You know what I'm saying? I don't talk about it the way other people talk about it. Motherfuckers be talking about being positive like there's nothing bad happening. No, motherfucker. You know there's bad things happening, but what you're doing is you have a positive outlook. You look at the bigger picture. In life, you either win or you learn. It's a win-win situation, nigga. That's why that nigga Ford was able to let you know what? Nah, nigga, I didn't fail. I learned like, you probably, nigga, get the fuck out of here. You didn't get the result of what you're looking for, right? That's failing, isn't it? Nah, but you also learned. Didn't I learn? Then I kept going. So I learned this is not the way to do it. So this nigga, technically, that's exactly what he said too. I learned fucking, I don't know if it was 300 or 500 ways that of not doing this. What the fuck was it? I can't remember what it was. But if you know what I'm talking about, then you know. So he just learned many different ways of how this shit doesn't work. That requires a higher state of mind for you to think that way. Hold up, nigga. Hold up. You know, there is a state of mind that this shit comes with. But a nigga like that too, believe it or not, he had to be in touch because when you start seeing things that way, you become in harmony with nature too. You become in harmony with yourself. Do you see what I'm saying? Because now you're looking at things differently. And even, because I know some people always say, man, a lot of people are suffering. If God was God, whatever the fuck. Like, again. And sometimes when you see people in poverty too, man, don't think they're just in poverty just like that too. Sometimes it's their karma that they have to pay. Because you have motherfuckers who wish for other people to go through some shit, and that shit comes right back to them. Now they going through it. I'm just saying. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's again the illusion. It's not what it seems. You know what I'm saying? A motherfucker have chosen has chosen to be in poverty, even though he was not even aware that that's what he chose. But all of his choices in life, as he's sleepwalking or whatever the fuck the situation is, that's where he got. It's no coincidence. I mean, I'm not saying it's pleasant. I'm not saying none of that shit. But I'm just saying, hey man, it's not what it seems. It's not as bad as you think it is, nor is it as good as you think it is. But it's what you make out of it. That's the bottom line. So, to get back to what I was saying, there's nothing wrong with change, man. Change is beautiful. In fact, the problem that we see when you call a motherfucker retarded, that's a motherfucker who didn't change. A retarded motherfucker, or a lot of those haters, or people who did not change or was not willing to change. They didn't want to die because they think if they die, I mean, in other words, that's a motherfucker that just want to stay to what he knows, not knowing when you expand yourself, you're not really dying. That's the thing, and that's the secret. That's what a lot of people don't know. When you transform, you you still maintain your individuality, but yet you are experiencing life on a whole different level. It doesn't take away your individuality at all. That's the relationship between the father and the son, nigga. Like, I'll give you, shit, I'll use myself. Like, I know there was a time as I was going through my fucking transitions or as I was elevating, going through different portals, I got to a point where, I had to open up myself to my fucking ancestors. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then I realized, yo, nigga, you're not dying. You know what I'm saying? In fact, now, you know what I'm saying, we all become one. I be cooking with these niggas, man. They be cooking, we're cooking together, they teaching me how to mix up a couple things, but they go through you, right? So you have to open up. So I had to learn how to open up because you know what I'm saying, this is my body and all that shit. But the minute I do it, nigga, this shit. I'll be in the middle watching these niggas arguing. No, this is what I want to do. Cook for him today. Nah, that's my dude. You know, no, come on. I know. We know what you did. Yo, this shit is crazy. I mean, it's beautiful. I mean, crazy beautiful. You know what I'm saying? These niggas be cooking for me. I'll be cooking with these niggas. It's beautiful, man. You still maintain your individuality. So I'm saying this to say, what you're calling a retard or people who choose not to grow up in life, they just get older. A lot of people, that's what they do in life. They got older. They have not grown because for you to grow, listen, grow means you used to be a child, you do kid shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, like this bitch I know, right? Like, you can't be a hoe for the rest of your life, like your whole fucking life, nigga. Like, what the fuck? Like, niggas would tell you, hey, we all went through it. We all did our little whole shit. That's part of life, right? Like any real man, hey, listen, man. If you don't have a story to tell, nigga, you probably still stupid. Like I always tell niggas, if you don't got no story, man, you did some stupid shit, and you knowing that you shit, nigga. I got a lot of story to tell, nigga. Shit, I'll be like Biggie, nigga, bring some weed, all that shit, nigga. I got sorry to tell. See what I'm saying? That's part of growth. Now I know this is what I did when I was 18, when I was 19, and guess what? Now I'm 41. I'm not doing this shit, nigga. You don't even have to pay. There's no amount of money you're gonna pay me for me to do the same shit I was doing. That's what growth is. The fuck? Why would I be 41 act like I was fucking 20? Why the fuck would I do that? I mean, but at the same time, I'm not saying, nigga, I party like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Party like a rock star. I do all my shit. But it's not the same. I take pleasure in other things too. Or you know what I'm saying? You, you just do grown people shit. You know what I'm saying? I made you have my cigar, having a couple of drinks, having a grown conversation. You know what I'm saying? Whereas maybe in the past, that wouldn't be the shit that I would do. You know what I'm saying? The dancing in the club. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? I shit, nigga, I still get down. You know what I'm saying? But it's not the same. You see what I'm saying? Like I used to hang out with this nigga when I first moved out here, man. You know what I'm saying? He was pretty much showing me around, you know what I'm saying? Nigga was 52 years old at that time. Yo, I go out to a party with this nigga. This nigga would talk to like this nigga don't miss a beat. I look at this nigga like, yo, what's wrong with you, man? Come on now, you know what I'm saying? You gotta talk, man. Like, oh, okay. Nigga, I did that when I was 17, nigga. That's what I used to do. I mean, I can't be doing the same thing anymore. It just didn't click to me. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? I did my shit, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I remember back in them days, you know what I'm saying? Me and my boys, you know what I'm saying? We just go out, you know what I'm saying? Yo, nigga, I'm gonna get more numbers than you and to do all that shit. But why would I do the same shit I was doing when I was that age, nigga? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, so I'm saying that to say a lot of people are suffering because they are clinging to not to change. So it isn't necessarily change that is the problem. And that's where you really dying. Because true death is just transformation. That's what I was saying. Like I went through so many deaths, man. Different new lives, and that's how you upgrade your DNA too. That's elevation, as you should. You know what I'm saying? It's like the more I changed, the more I realized that I didn't change, but I also changed too. Then I could say that today. I changed, but I didn't change. You know what I'm saying? And that's where, not just me, that's what a lot of the spiritual teachers would really tell you too. So again, changes just because this is an illusion and there's a lot of change that's taking place, it doesn't make it bad, bro. Maya's innocent, dog. It's like the fucking ego. The limited perspective on what the ego is, blame everything on the fucking ego. Niggas are not conscious because of your ego. It's almost like, okay, so you know, but your ego's stopping you. It doesn't work that way. When you don't know, that's why the ego's stopping you, motherfucker. Not because you know. You see what I'm saying? Like your ego's innocent too. God damn it, man. Like y'all blaming everything. Saying, God damn. Mm. It has nothing to do with it. People are not truly having a deeper understanding of what the reality around them is because they have not looked inside or 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 deep enough inside, because the whole, to see better, to see what's going on the outside, you got to go in. You got to have that inner vision. Meaning, like, when you understand that, I'll give you a perfect example. People, what you call an ego, well, we are in a society where everybody's greedy, bro. If I tell you right now, I don't give a fuck about the bag, you would think there's something wrong with me. This is how crazy this shit is. Because that's what everybody's doing. So everybody's got to be, I'm saying, you got to be a hustle, especially in our culture here. Shit, the more you do, the better you are. Saying niggas are saying, yo, I ain't got time to sleep, bro. You know what I'm saying? And because you're doing constantly moving, you feel like you're doing something great. Check out the fitness niggas. 4 or 5 times, nigga. Got that working. That's the underlying the culture. We look at the more you do. Again, we're looking at quantity, but you're not looking at quality. You're looking at the whole shit wrong. You know what I'm saying? One true nigga, you know what I'm saying? You could have a zillion, a trillion dumb motherfuckers. One smart nigga makes a difference. It's only that one smart nigga that's gonna make a difference. From the time he opened up his mouth, from the way he acts, from everything. You can't stop the shine, nigga. It's always been quality. You're looking at it wrong. So again, but when we talk about quality, we're talking about some sort of spiritual insight, some spiritual, some within shit. You know what I'm saying? That's why. Oh shit. Come to real. Oh man, it's already an hour. Shit. But to pretty much conclude, right? There's nothing wrong with change. In fact, the beautiful thing about change too. I'll give you a perfect example. It's the uniqueness. Like, we all could talk about the 90s, depending on how old you are, right? So, a lot of people will say, man, the 80s and the 90s were the golden era. So, meanwhile, we're talking about something that's not permanent here and permanent, right? We could appreciate value in it. There's value in it. That time was, oh my God, man, that shit. Them days used to be them days, man. Shit, I got days like that too. You know what I'm saying? Shit, me growing up in Haiti, nigga. Shit, man, those were my golden days, my nigga. It was beautiful for me. Party like a rock star, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Those were my golden years, man. They were what it was for what it was, and I appreciated them for what it was. You know what I'm saying? Now niggas got kids and shit. You know what I'm saying? Looking at this niggas, yeah, man, I used to be like you, man. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Now I got you, nigga. You know what I'm saying? But I gotta say, man, I got two angels, man. My God, Earth angels. I look at these niggas, shit. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? And I got to work for them too. Oh, on deck. Oh, you already know. Come on, man. Like we say this shit in Haiti, like, like, a baby lion is a lion, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. That's why we definitely got to give him the sight, and keep elevating, baby. But I had to see it for myself. But anyway, the bottom line of what we're talking about here, Maya is not as bad as being portrayed to be, because a lot of it has to do with our values and how we're looking at it. To the pure, all is pure. But then when you do the spiritual work, that's pretty much how you transcend this reality. You're able to see beyond the veil. But most importantly, at this point, you become the alchemist. You are transmuting, you turn hell into heaven. That's what the alchemist does. The whole transmutation, you do it not just in energy wise, but then the true alchemist, you become the change itself. You become that transmutation itself. Oh, this is for the elders. That's why even in the Bible, niggas said, "Oh, death, where's your glory?" That's why for me, like I was telling you guys, and I don't want to keep repeating that shit. Like life is not short to me, nigga. Find somebody else to tell that shit. I'm eternal, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because I understand that now, but I had to go in for me to understand that too. When you look around, death is nothing but transformation. You know, there's death coming up shortly. There's a whole bunch of deaths. You know, there's one, the winter. I can't wait for that. Well, I shouldn't say I can't wait because I appreciate it for what it is too. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it's a bunch of deaths happening. That's what you wanted, right? That's what you're gonna get. But death is truly about transformation. So true death is when people are clinging to you do not want to change. It's like imagine you living in the summer, you don't want the winter to come. The fuck? What do? We get our winter clothes. You don't say you don't want winter to come. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? You don't say that shit. You take it for what it is. You transform as nature transforms. That's why you have to embody it. Change it ain't that bad, bro. Not to say it's not bad at all, but depending on where you at with it, that could be a sensitive issue. And that's what I realized for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of like the occult too is trying to, the limited perspective of that occult, which is not an African base, which is not based on my act or on harmony and balance. Like they'll let you know changes, you know what I'm saying? It's not good. You know what I'm saying? And when I'm showing you there's nothing wrong with fucking change at all. You know what I'm saying? In fact, you get to appreciate, some certain times when you talk about the golden eras. And guess what? As you're talking about it, it's almost like, oh shit. It's like you make it eternal too. Even by you talking about it. So therefore, it's like you seeing the divine, the divinity in that transition. Oh, I hope I'm not losing you, baby. That's how you turn water into wine, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what you're into, that's how you turn samsara. That's what the fucking Buddhists, the Tibetan call it samsara, into Minerva or earth or hell into heaven. Again, it all comes down to the pure, all is pure. So the true fucking magician become the magic itself. You become that change. You keep that in mind. I sent, brow, my leg. Check out, you know what I'm saying? I got something else coming up too for you guys. And just so you guys know, man, I got a whole bunch of shit that's gonna come out. You know what I'm saying? But I'll let you know as we're getting close. You know what I'm saying? We're cooking a whole bunch of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Listen, we're going big dog status in this thing. Yeah. Nothing but love, man. I love all of you motherfuckers. I shan't. Ali.